Hello everyone, this is Asra Sultana, Assistant Professor in Triple Department, working in ISL Engineering College. So after a long time, I am taking the class. Uh, so we have got almost 1 month of gap, students. I hope everyone is good, is in good health. Okay, and I hope your families are also in good health. I am taking the subject Power Systems 2 for triple third year students. So, students, we were dealing with the second unit, that is symmetrical faults. So, various topics I have covered in the previous classes, that is use of per unit quantities in power systems, advantages of per unit system, symmetrical three-phase faults, reactance of synchronous machine, and short circuit capacity of bus. So, in today's class, we are going to discuss about transients in RL series circuits. So this topic is divided into two parts. Today's class I will take first part, the next class second part. So let us see what we have seen in the previous class. Percentage reactance we have seen. Reactance of generators, transformers, reactors, etc. is usually expressed in percentage reactance to permit rapid short circuit calculations. Percentage reactance of a circuit is defined as percentage of total phase voltage dropped in the circuit when full load current is flowing. That is percentage X is equal to Ix by V into 100. What is I here? Full load current. What is V? Phase voltage. X, reactance in ohms per phase. Okay. Percentage reactance is given as Ix by V into 100. And percentage reactance can also be expressed alternatively in terms of kVA and kV. It is like this. That is percentage X is equal to kVA by 10 kV square. X is the reactance in ohms. If X is the only reactance element in the circuit, then short circuit current is given as ISC is V by X, that is I into 100 by percentage X. So short circuit current is obtained by multiplying the full load current by 100 by percentage X. For instance, if the percentage reactance of an element is 20% and full load current is 50 amps, then short circuit current will be 50 into 100 by 20, that is 250 amps, when only that element is in the circuit. So here it is worthwhile to mention advantage of using percentage reactance instead of ohmic reactance in short circuit calculations. Percentage reactance value will remain unchanged because they are referred through transformers, unlike ohmic reactances, which will become multiplied or divided by the square of transformation ratio. So this will make the procedure simple and permits quick calculations. From this expression 2, that is this one, percentage X is equal to kVA into X by 10 kV square. From this expression, percentage reactance of an equipment will depend upon its kVA rating, we can say it. Okay. So generally various equipments which are used in power system have different kVA ratings. So it is necessary to find the percentage reactances of all the elements on a common kVA rating. This common kVA rating is called as base kVA. Value of this base kVA is quite unimportant and it can be equal to that of largest plant, or it can be equal to the total plant capacity, or any arbitrary value. Conversion can be effected by using the following relation. that is percentage reactance at base kVA is equal to base kVA by rated kVA into percentage reactance at rated kVA. So percentage reactance, what we are writing here, that we have to take into consideration base kVA here. Okay, so percentage reactance at base kVA is equal to base kVA by rated kVA into percentage reactance at rated kVA. So a 1000 kVA transformer with 5% reactance will have the reactance of 10% at 2000 kVA base. So this is a single line diagram. Okay, having a generator generating capacity is 2500 kVA and the transformer rating is 11 by 66 kV. Transmission line capacity is 66 kilovolt. So the value of base kVA will not affect the short circuit current. It needs illustration. Let us consider a three-phase transmission line operating at 66 kV and connected through a 1000 kVA transformer with 5% reactance to a generating station busbar. Generator is of 2500 kVA with 10% reactance. So we have seen the single line diagram of the system. Suppose that a short circuit fault between three phases occurs at the high voltage terminals of the transformer. It will be shown that whatever is the value of base kVA, we may choose the value of short circuit current will be same. Suppose if we choose 2500 kVA as the common base kVA, on this base value, reactances of the various elements in the system will be. So first case we are taking. Okay, there are two cases here. Okay, one is taking 5000 kVA as base, another is taking 2500 kVA as base. So first we will see if we are choosing a 2500 kVA as common base, calculating the short circuit current. Okay, so what we will see here, that whatever may be the base value, short circuit current is same. Okay, so suppose we choose 2500 kVA as the common base kVA. On this base value, reactances of the various elements in the system will be reactance of transformer at 2500 kVA base equal to, so this one we are putting it in the formula, 5 into 2500 by 1000, 12.5%. Reactance of generator at 2500 kVA base is 10 into 2500 by 2500, 10%. Total percentage reactance on the common base kVA is 12.5 plus 10. So adding these two, okay? Adding both, because generator and transformer both are there in the single line diagram. So we have to add these two kVA ratings. So total is 22.5%. Full load current corresponding to 2500 kVA base at 66 kV is given by 2500 into 1000 by root 3 into 66 into 1000, that is 21.87 amps. And if you calculate short circuit current, it will be equal to total current into 100 by percentage X. Total current we obtained as, or full load current we obtained as 21.87 into 100 by percentage reactance is 22.5. So short circuit current we are obtaining it as 97.2 amps. Now let us see the second case. Suppose if we choose 5000 kVA as common base. So reactance of transformer at 5000 kVA base will be 5 into 5000 by 1000, that is 25%. And reactance of generator at 5000 kVA base is 10 into 5000 by 2500, that is 20%. So adding these two to get the total reactance, that is 25 plus 20 is 45. So full load current corresponding to this 5000 kVA at 66 kV is 5000 into 1000 by root 3 into 66 into 1000, that is 43.74 amps. Short circuit current will be equal to full load current into 100 by percentage reactance, that is full load current is 43.74 into 100 divided by percentage reactance is 45. So 97.2 amps, which is same as the previous case. So from the above illustration, it is clear that whatever may be the value of base kVA, short circuit current will be same. However, in the interest of simplicity, numerically convenient value for the base kVA should be chosen. So also short circuit kVA, let us see what exactly is short circuit kVA. Although the potential at the point of fault is zero, it is a normal practice to express the short circuit currents in terms of short circuit kVA based on the normal system voltage at the point of fault. The product of normal system voltage and short circuit current at the point of fault expressed in kVA is called as short circuit kVA. So let us say that V is normal phase voltage in volts, I is the full load current in amps at base kVA, percentage X is equal to percentage reactance of the system on base kVA up to the fault point. Short circuit current ISC is given as I into 100 by percentage X. I is full load current and percentage X is the percentage reactance here. Short circuit kVA for three-phase circuit is 3V ISC by 1000. That is 3 VI by 1000 into 100 by percentage X. That is base kVA. This entire is base kVA into 100 by percentage X. So let us see the reactor control of short circuit currents. With the fast expanding power system, fault level, that is the power available to flow into a fault, is also rising. Circuit breakers connected in the power system must be capable of dealing with maximum possible short circuit currents that can occur at the point of connection. Okay, so a power system should have circuit breakers. Why? Because to disconnect the circuit if a fault occurs. So circuit breakers should be connected in power system in such a way that it is capable of dealing with the maximum possible short circuit currents which will occur at the point of connection. So generally reactance of the system under fault conditions is low and fault currents may rise to a dangerously high value. If steps are not taken to limit the value of these short circuit currents, not only will the duty required of circuit breakers is excessively heavy, but also damage to lines and other equipment will also certainly will occur. So in order to limit the short circuit current to a value which the circuit breakers can handle, additional reactances known as reactors are connected in series with the system at suitable points. What is a reactor? Reactor is a coil of number of turns designed to have a large inductance as compared to its ohmic resistance. The forces on the turns of these reactors under short circuit conditions are considerable and therefore windings must be solidly braced. So here it can be added that due to very small resistance of reactors, there is very little change in the efficiency of the system. Let us see the advantages of these reactors. Reactors will limit the flow of short circuit current and thus they will protect the equipment from overheating as well as from failure due to destructive mechanical forces. Second is troubles are localized or isolated at the point where they originate without communicating their disturbing effects to other parts of the power system. This increases the chances of continuity of supply. Third advantage is they will permit the installation of circuit breakers of lower rating. Short circuit current limiting reactors may be connected in series with each generator, in series with each feeder, or in bus bars. So no definite statement can be given as to which one of the above locations is preferable. Each installation has its own particular demands which must be carefully considered before a choice of reactor location is made. Let us see the first location of reactor. First one is generator reactors. When the reactors are connected in series with each generator, they are known as generator reactors as shown in the diagram. In this case, reactor may be considered as part of leakage reactance of the generator. Hence, its effect is to protect the generator in the case of any short circuit beyond the reactors. It has some disadvantages. First one is there is a constant voltage drop and power loss in the reactors even during normal operation. If a busbar or feeder fault occurs close to the busbar, voltage at the busbar will be reduced to a low value, thereby causing the generators to fall out of step. Third one, if a fault occurs on any feeder, continuity of supply to other is likely to be affected. So due to these disadvantages, and also since modern power station generators have sufficiently large leakage reactance to protect them against short circuit, it is not a common practice to use separate reactors for the generators. Second one, feeder reactors. When the reactors are connected in series with each feeder, they are known as feeder reactors. Since most of the short circuit occurs on feeders, a large number of reactors are used for such circuits. So two major principal advantages are claimed for feeder reactors. First one is if a fault occurs on any feeder, voltage drop in its reactor will not affect the bus bars voltage, so that there is a little tendency of the generator to lose synchronism. Second one, a fault on the feeder will not affect other feeders and consequently effects of the fault will be localized. Disadvantages. There is a constant power loss and voltage drop in the reactors even during normal operation. Second one, if a short circuit occurs at the bus bars, protection is not provided to the generators. However, this is of little importance because such faults will be very rare and modern generators have considerable leakage reactance to enable them to withstand short circuit across the terminals. Third one, if the number of generators is increased, size of feeder reactors will have to be increased to keep the short circuit currents within the rating of the feeder circuit breakers. Third is busbar reactors. So above two methods of locating reactor suffer from the disadvantage that there is considerable voltage drop and power loss in the reactors even during normal operation. This disadvantage can be overcome by locating the reactors in the bus bars. There are two methods for this purpose, namely ring system and tie bar system. So in a ring system, bus bar will be divided into sections and these sections are connected through reactors as shown in the diagram. So one feeder will be fed from one generator only. Under normal operating condition, each generator will supply its own section of the load and very little power will be fed by other generators. This will result in low power loss and voltage drop in the reactors. Tie bar system. Here is showing the tie bar system. Comparing the ring system with tie bar, it is clear that in the tie bar system, there are effectively two reactors in series between sections, so that reactors must have approximately half the reactance of those used in a comparable ring system. Now let us see the today's topic, that is transient in RL series circuit. Selection of circuit breaker does not depend only on the current carrying capacity under normal condition, but it will also depend upon the momentary maximum current it may have to carry under abnormal or short circuit conditions. It will become necessary to determine initial maximum value of the current at the time of short circuit. To approach the problem of determining the initial value when a short circuit occurs, there is a need of studying the transients in RL series circuit, which is most fundamental type of AC circuit. So what we are telling here is that whenever we are selecting a circuit breaker, it should not the circuit breaker should not be selected as just uh, uh, carrying the current carrying capacity under normal condition, but it has to depend on the maximum current it may carry under abnormal or short circuit conditions. So it will become necessary to determine the initial maximum value of the current at the time of short circuit. So to approach the problem of determining the initial value when a short circuit occurs, there is a need of studying the transient in RL series circuit, which is the most fundamental type of AC circuit. Let us consider a RL series circuit. It is connected at the instant t equal to 0 to a source of alternating voltage V is equal to Vmax sine omega t plus alpha, where alpha is the phase displacement between the voltage and the reference wave, which passes through 0 at the time t equal to 0. So this is an RL AC series circuit we are having here. RL connected in series and a switch is connected here. Alternating voltage Vmax sine omega t plus alpha is applied here. So equation relating the applied voltage and current in the given circuit is given as V is equal to IR plus L di by dt, or L di by dt plus IR is equal to Vmax sine omega t plus alpha. Complete solution of above equation will consist of two parts, which are called as particular integral and complementary function, that is Pi and Cf. Okay. So particular integral is the solution corresponding to the steady state condition, namely I equal to Vmax by root of r square plus omega square L square sine of omega t plus alpha minus phi, that is Vmax by z sine omega t plus alpha minus phi, where root r square plus omega L whole square is equal to z, that is circuit impedance, and phi is the phase angle between the current and the voltage, which is determined by phi is equal to tan inverse of omega L by r. So above solution is obtained without any constant of integration and cannot therefore represent initial conditions. So complementary function is necessary to represent the initial conditions. This is a solution of the equation with 0 substituted for Vmax sine omega t plus alpha, namely the solution of L di by dt plus Ri equal to 0, which is I equal to A into e power minus r by L t, and complete solution is given as I equal to Vmax by z sine of omega t plus alpha minus phi plus A into e power minus r by L t. Thank you, students. The remaining part I will tell in the next class. Continuation of transient in RL series circuit. Thanks for watching the video. All of you, uh, should give your attendance in comment section. Thanks for watching the video.